Hi, welcome to DRG Story Time. Alright, so story time. In middle school, I completely innovated and redesigned how my peers moved from place to place. Alright, so how'd I do that, you know? This is a quick course on how to influence the world around you in a way that's maybe not the most beneficial. But yeah, so it all started, we have this huge parking lot that we're in recess, right? It's like a massive parking lot. We didn't have grass wasn't allowed. I went to Catholic school, so they had this massive parking lot for all the parents to park in to pick up all their kids after school. So that's just where we also had recess. It was connected to the playground and everything. It was pretty wacky, actually. Anyway, stand out there and by the service garages. Service garages for the vehicles that would like service the grounds, because this grounds also had, it was a Catholic school, so it also had nuns living there too. It's kind of weird. And then they had a high school that was the same brand down the street. So I'm standing by these service garages where all the service vehicles are supposed to be, but like we've never seen them before. I think I maybe saw them open once, maybe twice. Standing there, sitting, watching. Kid comes skipping past, you know, just like skipping. I was like, oh, that's interesting. I haven't skipped in a while. It's not normally a way that I normally move. But herein lies the intrigue of skipping, and you know, maybe you pick up a couple movement tips, IRL movement strategies. So skipping, each individual stride that you do, right? Each individual movement is way more than like one step that you could take, because you like spring yourself forward. Oh wow, that was a big fall. You like spring yourself forward. And that's sort of like the main thing that I realized is that if you start skipping, right, you actually can get a lot farther in one motion than if you were to be walking or even, you know, like running, especially for people with like shorter leg spans. You know, their steps aren't as long, but you ignore that with the skipping buff. So what I realized is that this burst turret needs to frickin' die. That simply won't do. All right. What I realized is that if you skip, you're gonna go farther, and going farther means you go farther. It means that maybe it's a little bit more efficient. I messed around with it for a little bit. That's like what I did that recess. And I was like, hey, guys, my friends, my dudes, race me. I wanna try something. It's pretty interesting. They were skeptical, of course. They're like, you've never won a race, ever. You're actually very slow. You're very tall, but you're very slow. And I said, no, race me. You know, they start running, as you do when you're trying to race. And I hit them with the skip. And I sort of dominate with the skip. Pretty freaking wild, actually, how much I dominated with the skip. And I thought that was gonna be it. I thought that I'd done my little thing, and that was the end of it. We'd never hear about this again. Q, like, it was a couple days later. It was towards the end of the week. Like, this was on a Tuesday. We had this big scientific line of inquiry about the possibility of using skipping as a new mode of transit. We had that on, say, Monday, Tuesday, and then this is like Thursday, right? So we check back in on Thursday. Where the heck does this go? Do you go, yeah, no, we're going all the way back. Okay. We're sitting in class doing the thing. Teacher needs us to deliver a message to another teacher in the building, but doesn't want to like just send an email. Our teachers had a weird thing about like not sending emails. I heard them rarely ever talk about it. They just like run messages through the building with their students. So it was a common occurrence. It was just something that happened often. They're like, hey, we need this message to get from here to this other teacher across the building. My friends and I don't think our hands have shot up that fast before. Like, we were all over it with this new discovery. We didn't even realize that it was all of us. We just did it all instinctually. It was pretty funny. So me and two other friends, like, taking this piece of paper to the teacher across the building and past multiple classrooms that all have students in them, right? All actively learning, doing the school thing. Does that go up? I think that goes up. Male presenting people skipping so fast, going all out skipping. It was bizarre. because normally when you see one person skip, they're like by themselves. I don't think I've seen this occurrence before where you have like multiple people skipping at the same time. It lasted for like a week, this influence that I had, this revolution, but that was a fun week. I thought it was crazy. I was a trend setter. Let me talk about the loadout actually. Before we jump to the next story, let me talk about this loadout. I actually haven't used the Burt as much as I would like to. So I've got Electro Mindlets on this one. Electro Mindlets overclock with the Leadstorm using the Leadstorm overclock, which slows your movement to 0 when firing. So you'll see me do a lot of jumps while I'm doing that, just getting used to it. It's one that I want to practice with instead of always using Burning Hell. One upgrade choice that I quite like about the overclock setup is you can take a blow through on the Burt. So in theory, the way to use it, shoot an enemy directly and then have the blow through actually plant the mine. I'm not sure if it does actually work like that, if that interaction is actually correct, but I'm certainly going to try it. Where are you? There you are. Which we can try it right now. So, and then the mines go off. That's actually really cool. Oh, that's really nice. I quite like that, actually. This was a long time to set up. Damn. All right. GG's. Let's do this thing. Am I doing this? I'm gonna do both of these. This is a horrible idea. I am not playing well at all. This was so silly. Oh my goodness. Where you go? Here we go. How are y'all doing, by the way? Let me know in the comments. I am curious how you guys are doing. Are you liking Season 4 Deep Rock Galactic if you're playing it? I actually, I've heard a lot of opinions about the Stingtails. I actually think they're quite balanced. I enjoy their place in the game, personally. Anyway, I told you that story, though, so I could tell you a completely different story. It's sort of like how I became a middle school mob boss, kinda. It's a little weird, but let's talk about it. I had this mentality, right? And it's kind of a weird mentality to have. That in middle school, if I ever needed anything, like you want to be friends with everybody, right? Because at some point in time, there's a very valid chance that I may need to ask any given classmate for a favor, or teacher for that matter. I think it must have been 5th grade going into 6th grade, where I was just like, I just resolved that I was going to make everyone like me. Baby Stitch was like, everyone is going to like me because I need to have favors. I want to have all of the favors all the time. If everybody owes me a favor, or at least thinks like a neutral positive way about me, I will always be okay. I mean, like that is literally what I did. Yeah, so I like said hi to people. I like always tried to help. You need help carrying your books, you need like somebody to do whatever. I help people out. I said hi, tried to be nice in group projects, like the whole shebang. Literally everything I could think of I would do to make sure that people thought I was like at least a decent person, if nothing else. Which is also kind of how my parents raised me anyway, but so I like all of this effort. That was all I was thinking about. And I would come home at the end of the day and my parents actually like started commenting on it, of how I just wouldn't interact all that much at home anymore because I was so tired. I was so tired at the end of the day from helping everybody. I'd be like, I'd do anything that I could do, I would do. I guess the nice part is, and the thing that made it worth it, is that like it started working. People would like say hi, just say hi to me randomly, or like know my name if I hadn't even talked to them all that much. Like, oh, hey, Stitch. I'm like, oh yeah, that's me. So that was actually like really cool. I was like, okay, it's working. Now what? I really didn't think I was gonna get this far. I started thinking about, okay, well, how do you feasibly test this, right? I have people who seem like they like me, but, you know, and maybe they might owe me favors, but I don't actually want to spend any favors. And I was thinking about it, and I didn't have a lot of ideas for a while. But then I came up with like this golden opportunity. incredible opportunity. I intentionally left my pencil pouch home one day, right? And I'm sure you see where this is going. I didn't bring any writing utensils of any kind. So I show up to school. We're in, I think it was social studies class. It was something like where pop quizzes were common because our teacher's like, hey, it's pop quiz time. We're gonna do a little like 10 question check-in quiz for funsies. And I was like, okay, time to do it. I turn to the kid next to me. They're getting out their pencil. And I say, hey, and I have a pencil, we're fun. And there's a little bit of a hesitation because like a person is talking to you. But he did immediately give me a pencil. He said, yeah, sure, here, have a pencil. I'm like, oh, that's a pencil. Did I get my thingy from this? I don't think I actually even have a core. Yeah, no, I just did that for fun. And it's like, oh, I have a pencil. So I used the pencil for the quiz, but I have more classes today. I have more chances to try this out. So I go into the next class. It was like a religion class or whatever. I asked the person next to me when we have our like little assignment that class. I was like, hey, can I borrow a pencil? They pull one out of their pencil pouch and they're like, hey, here you go. You don't need to give it back. I said, what? I get to keep it? Because I gave the other one back, of course. Somebody let me borrow a pencil, I'm giving it back. I was like, I get to keep it? So of course I kept that pencil. I don't actually think I still have it. I mean, I kept it at the time. I used it for that semester of school. I was like, holy crap. I've unlocked the secret power. I am the single strongest middle schooler. I got goons giving me pencils. I got people who owe me favors. I'm a mob boss extraordinaire. It was nuts. It was incredible. And you might say, now Stitch, you've gained all this power. You've gained all this influence in your territory. What did you do with it for the rest of the school year? Or, like your time in middle school? And to that I say absolutely nothing. Are you kidding me? I would use a favor on anything? No, what if I need it later? Absolutely not. No shot, no chance. Yeah, I never used it. I just did the pencil thing and then just aggressively hoarded any and all influence points that I could get my hands on. That's definitely something to think about. When you're playing a video game and you got a potion and you're like, but what if I need this potion later? Always think about what if you'd never use the potion ever? Are you okay with that? Like, yeah, sure, maybe there's a time where you absolutely need it, but also you might just never use it. Then you'd be stuck without ever having experienced that potion. It's something I think about a lot. It's kind of weird, right? Of like, I don't want to waste it, but at the same time, I want to use it. But we'll just wrap up this mission. I'm happy you stopped by, hang out with me for my story time. That's all I got for now. Let me know if I should do one of these again. I have more school stories from, got a few from high school that are good. I got a few from, I did karate for a period of time. It was actually really fun. Got a lot of really good life advice, and I learned a lot from doing karate. That actually, like, is worth a video. Yeah, I did karate for a while. I actually really recommend it if you have a dojo with some cool sounding people by your location and you're looking for a physical activity to do. It's pretty nice. I had a good teacher, which I think is why it was so good, but I still recommend it. It's kind of fun to know how to defend yourself, and it's also like interesting movements. Ooh, I'm dodging. Oh, I'm bobbing and weaving. Ooh, I'm Bobby. Ooh, I'm Bobby and weave. I'm Weavy and Bobby. Weave a baba. Okay, it's other side. I don't have dash. I don't have dash. I don't have dash. I don't have dash. We're fine. What are you talking about? I didn't panic. I literally have never panicked once in this game. I'm playing on a lower difficulty. I can handle this. See? Fine. Yeah, see? I literally didn't panic. What are you talking about? Yeah, so if you're in middle school currently, and you need any tips on how to win middle school, just gain influence. That's about the best thing you can do in middle school. It makes a good noise, this gun. Really makes a good noise. It groups them really tight too. Like they stick in that triangle formation. Rock and stone. Hey, you have a great rest of your day, friend. I'll see you around. Bye.